Hello, ladies, gentlemen, camels in the desert. Welcome to War with a Mate, your favourite podcaster's favourite podcast. Because this is my favourite podcast.
There we go.
With me, James.
Me, Andy.
We are the two guys from Britain, as they keep on saying in the comments, which is true, playing the campaign for North Africa. It's a very long board game. It goes on for a very long time, and we are here for a very long time. Today we're here for like an hour or so. That's kind of what we do. And we've just finished playing more of the game, Andy.
We have. It's a good one. Kicked off turn 4.
We have. We've really marched into Op Stage 1 of Turn 4. Each turn made up of 3 Op stages. The practice scenario made up of 6 turns. I was declared technical victor a couple of weeks back, but we are playing this thing all the way through to the end of Turn 6. And then we get the pleasure of starting the full game, which is 111 turns. That's stupid.
Woohoo.
What are we doing? A question I've asked so many times it's lost its meaning. A bit like the game itself. The rules, however, they are concrete. They are drilled into my mind. I say that. We did make a few rule mistakes today, and have done for the last year. But we'll get to that. Andy, how was today?
It was good. Hot weather.
Hot weather. In the game, it's
Not
early February here in the UK.
Yep.
So it's...
The opposite.
You know what? Wasn't as cold as I thought it might be around this time of year.
It's been all right.
We're coming to the last legs of winter, but it's still not as cold as I thought it would be. I expected more weather. And what did you give me? Disappointment.
Just let you sit in that for a bit.
Well, I thought I thought we'd have a bit of, to and
Nah,
fro.
we're not doing a back and forth.
Wow. You've really changed your attitude on this pod.
I have.
Now it's just a case of I'll spiel into this void and you'll just sit there.
Indeed.
Don't be a sore loser. You owe me a Kinder Bueno. You don't owe me silence. If I wanted silence as my prize, I'd tell you.
Okay. I assumed that's on me.
Yeah, don't assume. It makes an ass out of you and me.
Okay. So, organization phase. Did a bit of construction.
Yeah, I didn't because it's hot. And hot weather equals worse construction.
It does.
Because you have to spend more water. And water is a
stores.
valuable resource in the desert, Andy.
Weirdly not.
Only it's not, yeah. For some reason, this game, all about strategic placement. Early days, I thought, oh my god, water is some terrible resource that we'll never find. It's actually pretty easy. You go to any village, it's there's a well, and those wells will not deplete very easily, as I found out. Especially when rainfall comes, which is more often than you'd think for a desert
More
campaign.
often than the odds on the dice.
Yeah, it's not really equal to the odds. However, it happened. We've had a little bit of rainfall. I've not had any real issue with water. The pasta rule does still annoy me. I've had to do that in the week since we last played because we had to do all of our resource consumption. Yeah, all of our homework, all of our resource consumption, stores, water, and when it comes to water in hot weather, it's amplified. I have the pasta point because I'm the Italian forces, which is it's not hugely taxing in terms of the amount, but it's just the extra admin.
It's the extra step.
Yeah, I complained about it so much last week, and it's not even the amount. Like, I was looking at it during the week. It isn't the amount that I'm losing, it's that I have to do, because it's outside of the parameters of all the other formulas I've got. It's like an extra thing I have to do. It's manual.
Yeah.
And I've come to hate manual, which is bad because this game is mostly that. But we're trying to get away from that.
Yeah.
We're trying to automate parts so we can make the gameplay just that. Gameplay, fun, enjoyable. However, it does have its issues. It's long, arduous. But so are we. We're long, we're arduous.
Yeah, and despite the increased construction costs I'm fixing the road.
Long last.
And I figured waiting for the weather to be right, I might as well just spend the extra and fix it.
Well, that's it. The way you're rolling at the moment, there's not going to be any right weather. It's always going to be hot.
No normal weather.
It's been hot for the last two op stages now. Yes. 2 in a row is bad. That means there's some sort of climate change happening. That's bad because we're in the 40s.
Yeah, I haven't even kicked that off yet.
I know. This is well before. In this alternate universe that we've got going on, Climate change has really got a head start.
Well, I guess before they knew about it, they were doing it.
No. It's a bit like illness. It's only when you're diagnosed that it kicks in.
Oh, it's a placebo CO2.
Placebo 2. Placebo 2, of course, the sequel to Placebo.
Is that...
No, I think what I tried to do there was a very niche reference to the game Ricochet.
Ricochet 2?
Yeah, yes, see, you got it. That's why we can do this podcast.
Being chronically online in the... What was that? Early noughties?
I can't even remember when that video came
That's
out.
not... I don't know.
All I know, Andy, is you and I run in the same circles.
We do.
And those same circles are damaged mentally because of our chronic onlineism. It's a diagnosis that I don't have formally. I've self-diagnosed, and I did that online.
Well, where else would you get information?
Speaking of on the line, your trucks have to go on the line that you've been repairing. So I have a question to ask. When you've been repairing the road, have you been doing it with an engineering unit or a non-engineering unit?
It's an engineering HQ with a battalion of infantry underneath it.
So that would mean you can repair... Yes, you can repair the road that you're on and the hexes adjacent.
Yes, is that which I've done, because the actual hex they're on isn't broken.
But the two either side.
The two either side are, yeah.
So now I know the part that you've repaired, yeah.
Yes.
I can picture that spot right next to Mercer Matru, just to the west.
Yeah, the 2nd New Zealand boys are fixing a road.
That was going to come eventually. So your construction...
Does that go on one of the rules? It's a good time to mention it.
You know what? That's a perfect point to mention it. So, for those who've been invested in my air shenanigans over the last year or so, you'll be familiar with my tactic of bombing Andy's road. That northern road, all the way along top of the map, well, not all the way along, but it comes from Alexandria to just past Mercer Matru, so it's a good chunk of the game. My tactic has been disrupt Andy's supply chain by bombing that road. Now I thought, perfect, you bomb the road, which usually is only a half CP to move a motorized vehicle over. Perfect for transportation. If I get rid of that, then all of a sudden that shoots up to 2 CP if you're moving over a clear tile. So that you're talking 4 times the capability points. The issue...
sort of crucially, breakdown.
But breakdown's a big thing, because breakdown points, it's 4 breakdown points for a clear.
Yes.
So it becomes exponential, because on a road tile, there's no breakdown points at all for a vehicle. So it's free movement if you're on a road. Your car's not going to break down. However, it transpires today. If you look at the bombardment table, the air bombardment, when you're bombing a road, it does have a little caveat on there. And we look at this table every other week, more or less. And in great detail, because we've got to figure out how many bombs we've got, what we can take apart with those bombs. What we haven't been looking at a whole lot are the results. Because we thought, we're so familiar with everything, we've played this really long game for a really long time that we know it all. Once again, we've been hit with that humble arrow. And that humble arrow today has told us that when you bomb a road from above, you don't get rid of it completely. Instead, you turn it into a track. So tracks are, for the uninitiated, dotted all over the place on the map. They're the weaker younger brother of the road. They're the ugly duckling.
The first billy goat.
They are. And they do reduce the cost of movement and also reduce breakdown. What they do is, anytime you move over a hex that has track on it, it only takes 1 CP.
It halves.
It's just 1 CP. It halves breakdown cost.
Yeah, sorry, that's it. Yeah.
Yes, it halves the breakdown cost, which could be... some of them are like 6 or 8 if you go crazy. But for the most part, you're looking at 4 for a clear. So you reduce it to...
If you're in the desert, it's 20.
That's insane. I've never had to check, thankfully, because I've never been stupid enough to drive over the desert.
To just kill a guy.
Well, I've been stupid enough to do that, just not in the desert.
Just not that way, yeah.
So it's greatly effective still, because you're halving your CP cost for the most part, and you're also halving your actual cost of breakdown. And it turns out when you bomb a road, it turns into a track. It metamorphosizes.
Which
it's like,
makes sense.
You know the book Animorphs, Andy? You ever read Animorphs?
Is that the Ricky Gervais one?
No. I don't even know what that... I don't know what you're referencing there.
He wrote like a book with weird animals, I think.
Ooh. You think of The Office.
That's it.
That's it.
I was thinking of Garrett from The Office.
He's in quite a few things now. Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yeah, he's good in that.
Yeah, that's just come out, hasn't it?
Yeah, Detectorists he's in.
Detectorist. I don't think I've seen that one.
Yeah, it's about some guys who do metal detecting.
That sounds BBC
It might even be ITV.
or Channel 4.
Yeah.
It's BBC or Channel 4. I can tell just by the name. So, yeah, it's... I've completely lost my train of thought. I've got it's completely sidetracked. Whenever BBC comes into play, I've recently had a dispute with the TV license people. I think that's what it is.
Oh, they tried to enter your home.
They haven't tried to enter my home, but they send me those letters where they're like, "Are you going to be home on the 21st of January?" And I was like, "Well, maybe." I opened up the letter, and as you open up the letter, this is quite funny. So it says, "Are you going to be home on the 21st of January?" Because we might pay a visit then or another day. And I'm like, well, you kind of lost the threat factor here. Because there's kind of a looming shadow if you go, I'm going to show up on the 21st of January. But if you go, I'm going to show up that day, or maybe another. And for the most part, I'm like, I'm going to be at work.
Yeah.
So you're going to knock on a door. There's no one there to intimidate. And even if you do show up at the door and I open the door, which I don't often do to people, then I'll just go, well, no, you can't come in.
Bring me a warrant.
Bring me a warrant. Show me some paperwork. Show me your warrant. Has a judge signed this warrant? But I don't actually need a TV license. I don't watch BBC programs at my home, and I don't watch any live programs either.
Because it's just a subscription service, but it's incredibly overpriced for what you get.
Yeah, and for anyone outside the UK, if you're not aware, and this might be a bit of a bizarre concept, because I don't know how widespread this kind of structure is, but in the UK, you've got the BBC, which is the British Broadcasting Company.
Yeah.
That's what it stands for, nothing else. Don't get funny with me in the comments. It's the British Broadcasting Company, and they were the sort of OG broadcaster in the UK. And they also run a lot of Doctor Who, big one, you'll have heard of that, and a bunch of other TV programs that are...
People know what the BBC is, man.
Yeah. The thing is, though, I don't know to what extent, because I'm aware of how ignorant I am of other things across the world. There's been so many times when I've not grasped it. So I'm just going to give the benefit of the doubt that people are as ignorant as me.
To be fair, I have no idea how it works in any other country, so I probably shouldn't be.
Exactly. So before I go too far off topic, to summarize it quickly, the BBC, if you want to watch any live television in the UK, anything that's broadcast live, or any BBC program on their platform, you have to pay a television license fee. And that's, what, like £120 a year?
It went up recently. It's like almost 200 now.
Yeah, I think it's like £180 a year, or you can pay it monthly. And that goes to the BBC. They make programs. They're advert-free. But if you watch Netflix and stuff like that, you don't have to pay it. So I'm exempt. I don't watch BBC stuff, and I don't watch anything live. So I'm all good. But they sent me a letter saying I need it, and I don't. That was the crux of the condition that I was talking about. And I've got completely sidetracked. We're talking about bombing roads in North Africa in the 1940s in a board game.
Yeah.
And you're repairing them. Turns out I wasn't doing the damage I thought I was.
No.
Which has completely changed my tactic going forward. Because in the main game, when we start that, my plan was eradicate that road. Just absolutely blitz that road with my air superiority from go and disrupt your supply line to a completely devastating level. If I try and do that now, it's not going to be as effective as I thought. It's still going to be difficult.
It will
for
still
you.
be effective. It's just, will it be worth the bomb cost rather than it being like a shoe-in?
Yeah, instead I can commit those bombers to other fun stuff. So I moved away from that idea after I found that out today. But you did some repairing, and we did our air stuff.
We did.
We did our air missions. I did a very little air mission.
Just a wee one.
And you did 3 relatively sizable ones. There's a bit of crossover there, actually. So I decided to drop some bombs, just 72, on the 7th Armoured Division. Nice and subtle, humble and brave. Bombed the 7th Armoured Division. Just a few planes, though. 6 planes in all. That's pretty fine. 6 planes, SM-79s, each of them carrying 12 bombs. 72. However, one of your air missions countered this.
Yes.
You were doing air patrol over the 7th.
Yes, I sent a batch of Hurricanes and Blenheim Mark IV fighters.
Wasn't pleased about that. Not going to lie. When I found out that I'd committed 6 planes to this and you'd committed, was it 19?
Yeah.
19 fighters to defend them. Wasn't great. However, in amongst this, there was some victory to be had. I'll skip to the end point of this. My bombs didn't land on their target. I went up against you. My bombers fought your fighters. I took out, was it 2? Just one. I took out one of your fighters.
But it had a pilot.
It had a pilot, yes. Took out one of your pilots and your fighter. And I also lost
3.
3 or 4, at least 3.
1, 2, and 6 survived.
That's correct. So half my bombers got through. They dropped a bomb. It did not land on the division, and I lost 3 fighters. Not ideal.
3 bombers.
Bombers, yes. I don't have any fighters in action. And then you carried out a mission to make sure of that, because you went after Fort Madalena.
I did that empty hex, but there's those planes there.
They
you
are.
can strafe them.
And that's because I was very candid, and I told you I'm going to be moving some of my SGSUs to that spot, so I can get them back off the ground. And we're in overtime now. I've already won, so we're okay to divulge this information, and we have been doing anyway, so what does it matter? So you found that out. You've now tried to strafe them. And what was really fun today is how that panned out. So to break down some strafing rules, we've had a few emails about it recently, so this is a little preview into that strafing thing when it comes to aircraft. You can strafe aircraft that are on the ground. The way it works is you roll off a table, depending on how many strafe points you've used, which is calculated by TAC Air, a value of your planes. When you roll that, it tells you how many dice to roll. All of the die are 6-sided as well in this game, for anyone who didn't know. And explaining everything to its basics today. So, Andy, you managed to roll a quantity of 1 die.
Yes. And then on that die,
you rolled another 1.
I did.
And that means you get to destroy that many planes. So in theory, you could have rolled a 3 at first, which means you then get to roll 3
I could have done
D6s.
18 if everything had gone the other type of luck. The other end of the luck
The
spectrum.
other type of luck. Good luck. But you didn't have that. You didn't have the other type of luck.
No.
You had the first type of luck.
Which is bad luck.
And bad luck is what befell you. And more than once today, may I add.
Yeah, I mean...
The other type of luck hit you a few times today.
Well, you also, like, the plane you shot down, you needed an 11, which is the lowest possible result, and you just got an 11.
Yeah, that 11 today, that's Snake Eyes. It was coming out hot and heavy.
Yeah, you got a +2 pilot, which is good. I don't have a lot of them.
And it gets that guy one step closer to being a +1 pilot on my end. He just needs a few more kills under his belt.
4 more.
4 more. And he's not really going to get that in this scenario.
No.
It's not realistic. So, yeah, your bomb, your strafe rather, on my guy was ineffective. You did then do some bombing though.
I did. I then bombed the Malay division.
You did. You took on the Milady, and they're quite good. I like the Milady division. They're steadfast. You've got a nice mixture of infantry, guns, and armor. So I like them. I like a diversified division. It rolls off the tongue. It also kind of the bombs rolled off their back and put them into a bit of a sticky situation.
Yes, I got a 4 on the table, which I could pin 4 things.
Yeah.
Armor and guns cost 2. Pinned 1 armor and 2 of your infantry. Which I think that's all the armor in there, wasn't it?
Yes, I had 1 armor in that group. I believe it was 8 infantry and 2 guns. You pinned 1 of my infantry. You pinned 1 of my recon as well.
Oh, that's good. They
That was
tend to
one
have
of the infantry.
pretty good close assault and defense. At least the recon I've got seems to be better than infantry.
I was looking at these guys when you pinned them. They seem a bit more niche. I think they've got a more specific purpose that I've not quite determined.
Yeah, recon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Looking at them, their assault ratings weren't great.
Oh, okay.
So I need to review that and see what I'm actually meant to do with them. Because every time you take someone down, I look at them and I go, well, how am I meant to use these guys? Because I've wasted them. So I need to look at that again.
I wonder if they'd be good for patrols.
Their CPA isn't great, though.
Really?
Yeah, they've got bad... That's why I knew they were definitely categorized as infantry. 10 CPA. So I don't really
But they're
know...
recon.
Yeah, they're recon, and they're 10 CPA, and their combat rating isn't very good. So...
Weird.
Yeah. So I don't really know what the
I'd maybe
strategy is with them.
double check you've got the right thing for them, because having recon with infantry CPA
Yeah, why are
is
they
in
doing that?
recon.
Well, I've got them up here. Let me double check while I'm. Well, let's do this. Let's do this live. You guys want a live show? We'll give you a live show. This is me checking my recon right now, and maybe having misunderstood them. Let's have a little look. So I've got them here. There we go. And if I slide along, completely misread it. No, I haven't. No, they are. Yeah, decent toe. Fair enough, but nothing standing out. Really don't know what that good point is.
Maybe it's just because the Italian cars they're using are pre-World War One scrap.
They're just those, those like kids' cars where you just put your feet at the bottom and you like run away.
Yeah, they're running around in Flintstones vehicles.
So they're gone, unfortunately. They're not going to be in this fight because they're pinned. But not to worry, I do still have plenty of guys around the area. The Maletti will push through. The Maletti still my most efficient division I've used so far because they have positive cohesion.
Oh, yes, they got
They pushed back
Fort
the
Magdalena,
7th.
yeah.
Yeah, they pushed back the 7th back at Maddalena. So that was the air mission. And it was, all in all, a bit of a loss for me. Apart from that guy I shot down, that pilot. Pretty happy with that. So we moved on to the beginning of planning for the land movement.
Yes.
Better yet, you did yours.
Yeah.
At least step one.
Pretty quick. We've got... Really, all I did was move... We got that big fight up at the coast at the border, basically.
Yes, City Barani, it's still being held down.
Yes. I basically moved the 16th Infantry Battalion up to help the 4th.
Yeah, garrison them a bit.
The 6th Australian have now left Cairo.
That was interesting. They've moved up from Cairo towards Alexandria.
Like halfway, basically.
It's a road as well, isn't it,
Yeah.
that they're crossing? So I spotted that. I'm interested to see what's going on here because they've sat back there for a while.
Oh, I can tell you what they've been doing.
Training.
Yes.
Yeah, I didn't know if it was training or if you were worried about me getting to Alexandria somehow.
It was a little of A, a little of B. While the Saharan were there, I wouldn't have moved them out.
That's fair enough.
But training, you gain 1 morale a turn where both the trainer and the person being trained don't do anything.
Oh, okay. Turn or upstage?
Turn. Yeah, I think so. I'll double check that. But yeah. And they came in with -3
Right.
training since day 1.
So now they're flat.
Yes.
Right.
So the sort of mixture of that and
The
the
Saharans being there.
Saharan not being like a sword of Damocles means they can
I've just
head off now.
I've incentivized a good decision.
Yeah.
Great. I love it when I do that.
I love
The
it when a
Saharan
plan comes
detachment.
together.
The Saharan detachment never failed to do good by you.
Like those guys.
You know what? They're going to go over to Europe and they're going to turn on me. I know for a fact they're going to work as informants.
Yeah.
And they're going to tell everyone that I have absolutely no plan.
Yeah.
So they're moving up. Got me a little bit on edge. I'm not really sure where they're going to go from there. I imagine it's to the front lines, but there's always that risk that you
Yeah.
do something wild.
Because also, do you remember where their names come up before?
Oh dear. Which history segment was this?
Operation Compass. They were the other division.
Right, okay, it doesn't matter because you don't have enough time to do this. You don't have enough time to get to Tripoli or wherever you want to go. So I'm not too worried about that. I am a little bit skeptical, a little bit cautious, but we'll see how this pans out.
They seem to be a pretty good division once you get the -3 off them.
Well, that's it. I don't know if I'm gamifying this too much, but in my head, there's always that sort of like give and take of you get like a really good thing, but you have to hone it.
Yes.
Like you get like loads of power, but you need to fine tune it for it to be usable. That's where I'm going with this. So I fear that might be what you've got.
Yes.
But I've got no idea. This division could be pitiful, or it could be the scariest thing you've got on the board. I've got no idea.
I don't exactly know because it's not full strength.
Oh,
It's like 50%.
right.
and
Okay.
The rest of it would arrive, if I remember the arrival table right, the rest of it would arrive around before turn 10-ish.
Oh, okay.
So that sort of makes sense for the Compass timeline of training Cairo, head along.
Yeah, you're kind of jumping the gun then.
Yeah.
Historically. which makes sense because we only get to turn
I don't
6.
have time, yeah.
Yeah, you got to do something with them. Well, bearing in mind, I had the black shirts stowed away for ages, moving their way from Tripoli, and they ended up becoming the ace up the sleeve that I needed to win.
Yeah.
And they're still now very, very important because they are fully motorized, both the second and third.
They're also... You've got 2 fully motorized ones. You've got 5 overall, is it?
5 fully motorized.
No, 5 black shirts overall. 4. Okay,
Yeah, I started with 2. They've had some ups and downs. One of them took a real beating from your guys. I think it was I want to say the 4th took the beating.
That sounds right. And when I was pulling back from Magdalena.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was the 4th.
Yeah, one of them took a real battering. It was when I pushed them over the border
Yes.
and hung them around there for a while. They were really hung out to dry. So I'm kind of worried about them. I think of all my divisions, they're kind of in the position that your 7th were when you left Madalena, where they're so fractured that you can realistically only use them for like an auxiliary effort,
Yeah.
but they can't be a full division now.
Right.
If I wanted to go up against one of your divisions, I would not send them.
They'd be like the 2nd division you might send
Yeah, they're
to
like
reinforce a primary one.
I would use them as a pincer,
Yeah.
but if I use them on their own, it's just stalling. They're not good for that. Your movement, also, I guess the absence of movement, worth mentioning, was the guys in Bardia.
Yes, left them there for now.
Yes, and they're your truck bandits. They are
Yeah.
infamous in the War with the Maid verse.
Yes.
And because you ended your movement with them there, we decided to finish off that combat today. That was the last thing we did, which was my division, the 62nd, I want to say. I believe it was the 62nd. I can tell you right now for sure. It was indeed the 62nd Mamarsia. And they went up against them. I had full division. You had a single battalion.
Yep.
The odds were not in your favour. Morale, we were balanced. Your cohesion brought your morale down. In terms of divisional size, organisational strength, I got a +4 from that because you are a battalion and I am a division. And then our actual toe strength, that balanced out to being a 6 versus a 1. 6 on my side, 1 on yours.
Yes.
So an overall -9 to the attackers,
Yeah.
which was bad because that meant that, once again, you had the other kind of luck. I managed to decimate 50%, half of your guys, and took prisoners, which we need to roll.
Yes.
And you did nothing to me. 0%.
No, it's 4. Well, because they're an armored thing, they're not even 400 guys. They're like 8 armored cars.
So, yeah, you did nothing to me. I did quite a bit to you.
Yeah.
And that was the last thing we did today.
Yes.
And it was good. It's another interesting stage of the game because we're still in the practice scenario, but we've completed a win condition, technically. We've hit a win condition. And now we're just seeing what happens afterwards. So all bets are off. We're in a state where the game can go either way. When I won, I knew that my forces were on the teetering point of falling apart, and they still are. So that little victory for me is good. But the last thing we have to do for your land combat, your land movement rather, is next week, and it's going to be the big fight at the wall.
Yes, because the 4th and the 16th are fighting 3 of your units, the Maletti division,
Yeah.
the tank one,
Yeah.
and the gun one.
Oh.
Yeah, and then the 7th.
Tanks, yeah. The Trivoli?
Yeah.
Trivoli?
Yeah.
Yeah, those guys they're still reeling from a loss from last time because you've already picked some of them apart.
Yeah.
They broke off.
And then also the 7th are still in contact with not the game state contact, but they are next to the 1st Libyan at Sidi Barani. So we've got 2 big battles next time.
Yeah, so it's going to be interesting to see how that pans out. I want to see where this goes. I want to see if I have any chance for the rest of the practice run, or if this is just me absolutely boned now. I don't know which way this is going to go. But time will tell.
Because also, I don't know if you noticed, the 11th, that they didn't leave Bardia.
Yeah.
They can't.
In terms of which direction they can go.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know that they're boxed into a zone of control.
It's 1 hex.
And it's one
And
jutted
then
out.
just Yeah, C. So they couldn't have left if I wanted them to, which I did.
You could if you did a retreat more than...
Can you retreat through an enemy hex?
You can if it's the only way, I think.
Might have a look at
We'll
that.
double check
Yeah,
that because we have got rules wrong even today. So,
Yes.
but we will have a look at that. That's important to know. We need to know these things. It's important to know. It's important to understand the game, Andy.
It is.
And I've got just the way to understand it that little bit more. Not just to understand the game, but to understand what we're doing here.
What's that?
We've got to look at ourselves, but not like this, not like we are right now, lovingly across a table with lovely glowing microphones in front of one another. I love that they glow, by the way. It's great. It's by using our listeners as a reflection. We bounce off them. It's a to and fro. It's like jazz. You see, we play a little beat on the double bass, and they come in with the saxophone, and that's how this whole thing works.
Just learn your sheet music ahead of time, guys.
No. We don't do sheet music here. We don't do that. We're not about reading. Well, actually, we do a lot of reading.
Yeah.
In fact, we're going to read some fan mail.
Let's do
right
it.
now. Listeners, here we come. We are never disappointed with the turnout of our correspondence. We have some fantastic emails that come through and fantastic topics, fantastic folk. And I've got one right here. And it's from someone who we've been mailed by before. This is a serial mailer. It is Monty. And Monty has sent in an email which is titled Talking About CFNA with Family. Good afternoon, brackets evening, y'all. There it is. There's the y'all. You know what we like, Monty. It's Monty again. I realize I don't think you ever read my Instagram message when I sent you way back. I'm going to read that again. It's Monty again. I realize I don't think you ever read my Instagram message I sent you way back when I first started listening. I don't remember most of it, but I do remember at the time you were talking about General Montgomery, and I thought it was funny since that's my name. Monty, I never knew your first name was General, but I'm very glad you shared that with us. It's just a little joke. I imagine it's not his name.
You just doxed him.
Oh, God. General Monty, I'm so sorry. I will read out your national insurance number if that's any help. Anyway, the point of this email is I'm on episode 59. Love the new logo. And you were both talking about how you go on long-winded explanations to people about your podcast, and they clearly get tired of it after a while. Well, my parents live in another state from me, and every week when we call, I'm always updating them on how your game is going. They eagerly await the news. My mother was especially excited to hear that I had sent you the POW diary from her great uncle, and I can't wait to hopefully hear you talk about it one day. It was also my birthday just a week ago, and I'm looking forward to spending many more birthdays listening to your adventures with this game. Your subtle, humble, and brave friend in Texas, Monty.
Thanks, Monty, and belated happy birthday.
Yes, belated happy birthday, because you sent this more than 2 weeks ago. So I hope it was a good one. I'm sure you're turning a crisp young age of something younger than you are, as is the compliment.
Nailed it.
It's a generous compliment that just kind of fits the vibe of everyone. The POW diary is awesome, by the way, Monty. We've not put together a segment. I say we. Andy hasn't put together a segment for it just yet. But I've got no doubt it will pop up at some time in the future, because anything that... We've got quite a few people who've sent in personal connections to history. Some of them we've read out, some of them we're yet to. And it's just brilliant hearing how these... I've come across some myself in my own personal life, and finding out that all these people who are spending time listening to us have then delved into some of their own family history, whether it's something they knew already or something they've taken an interest in. It's wild.
Oh, yeah.
There's just these little snippets of history that have all sort of come into our email box. That's wild.
Oh, yeah, it's crazy.
So we really appreciate that, and we will get around to that, Monty. It's also very endearing that you update your parents, and your parents want to know what's going on with the game. It reminds me a little bit of...
Your parents are more interested in this podcast than mine.
Same. It reminds me, Andy, funnily enough, of... We play D&D a lot, and you often talk about, or you did a little while ago, when you'd go out for meals with your parents, and they'd ask for like a debrief on how D&D's going, and if you've won yet.
Well, yeah, it would be, have you won your... Oh, why haven't you won yet?
Yeah, why haven't you won D&D yet? Why haven't you won the campaign for North Africa? And I'm at that stage as well, yeah.
I think my parents now have talked about D&D long enough. I don't actually think this fully realised what this actually is.
Well, you know what was the most crushing moment for me? It was a couple of weeks ago when I'd won. Yeah. And I was sat next to someone at work who's generously decided to try and listen to the podcast from time to time. And they were, I think, up to like maybe episode 30 or something. They've spent a lot of their time listening to it. And they did it off their own back. I didn't push too much. I just mentioned it. And I mentioned, in this episode, there's actually a victor declared. And it was like, that's interesting. That's cool. And I was like, just skip ahead to that one. You can come back to 30. Just listen to that one. And I was just sat there, and they were on their lunch break. And I was sat there having a lovely meal deal, which was a plain ham sandwich, a salted caramel protein drink, and some fridge raiders. That is a meal deal to enjoy.
If you're a psycho.
And they just sat there, take out their headphones and go, "Oh, you won. Nice." And it just dawned on me there and then. Like, what a fucking waste of time this is.
Like, just that reaction.
It was that little reaction. That little, "Oh, you won. Nice." Yeah. I'm like, "Oh, no, it wasn't a big thing. I've not, what I've done for a year, it wasn't worth it. What's it going to be like at the end of the full thing?"
It's the same reaction when someone tells you, "Oh, I won a 5 on the lottery."
Yeah, it's like, all right.
Okay.
Yeah. Or when they try and show you like a picture of that dog on the phone. And it's like, "Oh, this is my dog. Oh, nice." It's like, you didn't care. Nope. Why would you? And white noise in the background of your room when you're doing the dishes. You don't care what happens here. But that's actually, if anything, the kind of that's a perfect thing for people who know me to say about the podcast. Anyone who's got a genuine interest in this, brilliant. But for the people who know me directly, I guess that's the perfect
middle ground. That's all you can really
ground.
ask for.
It's supportive in the sense of they're listening to it. That's really nice. But they're not super invested where they're like badgering me with questions. Because I love reading out the listener mail and finding out the interesting questions here. But if I was at work and getting it every day, I feel like it would take the shine off it a little bit. It's too close to home at that point. So, Monty, I'm glad your parents are interested. Say hi to them from us. Play this little clip. Hello, Monty's parents. We haven't doxed him, and you should be proud because we nearly did that once to someone. And we hope you're all doing well in the other state, which isn't Texas. So I know that's kind of doxing, but I hope you forgive us. And once again, Monty, happy birthday.
Happy birthday. And we've got another one.
Another? How spoiled are we? We have another email. And what's this email?
Well, the subject is Common Ground Desk Kettle Kerfuffle.
Now that's a mouthful. Can you say that really fast?
Common Ground Desk Kettle Kerfuffle.
That's genuinely impressive. Given the fact we trip over our words so often when reading emails. I had to reread the first part of that email and you just spat that off.
Now watch me fail to read the rest of this.
Hold my beer.
To the Honourable James and the Kettle Hungry Andy, instead of a desk kettle, you should get one of those Zogirushi countertop water boilers. I have the CDWCC30. It keeps a reservoir at a user selectable temperature and dispenses at the press of a button. Takes about 15 minutes to get the reservoir to temp and plays a little song when it's ready. Their bread maker is great too. I swear they aren't paying me, Neil. Well, if they are, there's a bit of stealth marketing for you. I had a look at this. That is basically what I want, is a boiling water dispenser.
Well, what's interesting is I can't tell off the top of my head, but based on the date of this email, I think I do know the answer. I reckon Neil sent this before I came up with my rebuttal to your kettle idea.
Yes, I think so.
And I didn't read this email until, this is the first time I've read this email. So it's interesting that me and Neil both had this idea. His seems more genuine. Well, it's either genuine or it's an actual advert. In which case, Neil, you need to pay us for that. You're not allowed to do that for free. Anyone advertise anything, if you've got something to advertise, just bear in mind our listener base is scattered everywhere, so it will not work.
Don't. Yep, for any potential advertisers listening, it's pointless to do so.
It's pointless. You're not going to get any sort of draw from it. Our listeners are too widespread. Advertisers shouldn't pay us, and you can quote me on that.
We're so good at business.
Andy, we're not here for business. We're here for board games. You got the wrong
We're
B.
getting that part right.
Andy, we've got the other kind of luck. We're rich in emails. We're rich in board
We're
game
rich in
time.
emails and other luck.
Well, Neil, that's interesting because we've come up with the same idea. It almost suggests that Andy was wrong and that I was right. I won't mention the name of the company that I brought up in that episode because I was forbidden from. But, you know, it's all coming together. In fact, Andy, we have another email that does suggest the same thing.
Oh, we do a triple-decker listener mail this week.
A triple-decker, because this one also touches on the kettle incident. Now, this one, I must warn, is not for the faint of hearted. We've read this one, and we were shocked. This email reads, to Anderson and James Drew. Hello again. This is Erica, a listener from California. I've just listened to episode 58, and I'm absolutely infuriated about wanting the kettle in multiple rooms. To begin with, I have consulted a British friend on some insults to use. Andy. Oh, Andy, I hope you're right. I think you're an absolute moron, a twat, a wanker, and a complete That...
I understand the kettle thing was, let's call it, controversial, but your British friend has really helped you get to the deep end.
Yeah, Eric, I'm not sure what British friend you have, but they are a potty mouth. They are really tearing Andy apart here, and this is Andy. We love Andy. We got to be careful, all right? He's just a person. He's just a little guy, all right? You can't be saying these kind of things to him on air. And I may have been the mouthpiece for it, but I'm just the messenger, and you're not allowed to shoot the messenger. I'm like an SGSU. It's a war crime. Erica continues after calming down. To begin with, the reason the kettle is in the kitchen is because the water is in the kitchen. That's a good point. I agree with that.
Then why is the
Erica.
kettle not in the ocean?
Oh, it's Jazz. It's Jazz. He's coming back. What does Erica have to say to that? If you had it in any other room, you'd have to go to the kitchen anyways to fill your kettle, so you're not even saving much time anyways. And secondly, who has the money to just frivolously throw around on buying extra kettles? If you want it, then just take it from the kitchen to whatever room you're in. There's plenty of plugs to go around in this day and age. I can't believe you made me listen to that absolute drivel, and I hope you feel bad for suggesting that.
Well, I do now.
Oh, you see... Now, that's the thing. We've got a safe space here. And Andy, I can call you a
You just did.
I did. And I will continue to, from time to time, when I feel it's necessary, just to take you down a peg. However, we got to remember, he's a man with a heart. And yeah, he might be silly sometimes. I'd say maybe moronic. You can call him fucking stupid. But you can't call him a
This has not been a defense.
You can't call him a It's just not allowed. But I know it's in jest. I know that everyone who's sending in emails, it's always with love in their heart and water in their kettle from the sink in the kitchen, which is where you fill up the kettle. So, you know. Anyways, I've been loving the last 40 or so episodes since I last wrote in. And the addition of new music intro for the history segment is excellent. The continuous history segment is enlightening, and I've learned more about World War II through these segments than any other source. And I ought to give you credit for that. There you go, Andy. There's your kudos. See?
It's balanced out.
The hand strikes and gives a flower. A few
Carrot
questions.
and stick.
Oh, what?
Carrot and stick.
Carrot and stick. Both at the same time. A few questions. James, are you still confident in being able to win the main game within the early turns after learning about the airdrop rules? Quick answer, no. I imagine... Actually, by the time this mail gets read, things will have changed substantially, so I might already have an answer to that question. Well, there you go, and I again reiterate, no. One thing I've been curious about is how you two decide on who was playing which side. Was it a coin toss, rock, paper, scissors, or did James simply want to be the Axis? Keep warring with your mates? Erica. Well, Erica, despite the potty mouth from your British friend, who I decry, unless it's someone I know and like, in which case, you know, fair enough, that's quite funny. Erica, brilliant email. It touches on a point that defends me. I'll always be on side with that. However, you have kind of suggested something dubious about me towards the end there, which I will have to defend. Now, there wasn't a coin toss. There wasn't a rock, paper, scissors. I wanted the challenge.
The challenge, eh?
So, that's it. You see, when it comes to subtle, humble, and brave, that saying is about me. Now, you'll notice at the end of every episode, Andy says, stay subtle, humble, and brave. To me. That's who he's saying it to. I'm subtle, humble, and brave. I wanted the challenge of being the Axis because I know the Axis lose. And this is about a challenge for me.
Okay.
I won a Kinder Bueno, Andy.
You did.
I will win a sit-down meal.
No, you won't.
And I will do that by being the underdog. And I said it early on.
The underdog.
I said it early, and I'll say it again. I'm the underdog. And people love an underdog. That's what I am. That's what you're not. You're the other kind of dog.
Overdog.
Oh. You're the overdog, Andy. I've always said that about you. You're the overdog.
Oh, that is actually... I just realised top dog is actually a phrase. There was always a thing for that.
Look at that. The duality of man. The underdog and the overdog. Well, Erica, everyone who sent mail... We've got quite a few bits of mail in there which are really standing out. But, yeah, Monty, Erica... where's our other email? Neil. Sorry, Neil. I'm sorry. I'm reading through all of our YouTube notifications. They've absolutely clogged up all of our inbox there, taking up our bandwidth. But thank you, Neil, Erica, Monty. It's brilliant seeing all these pieces of mail come in, asking us questions about our game, about the war, about Africa. And if anyone wants to send anything of the type over to us, our email address is info@warwithamate.co.uk. Our website is warwithamate.co.uk, and our Instagram is just warwithamate. We take messages through all of them. Yes, I've seen the Instagram messages that have come through. Yes, we've seen the web forms, and we will answer everything. We'll read it all out unless you ask us not to. Also, if you want a pseudonym put in, you can do that as well. I'm acutely aware that we're reading out the email
as it comes in.
Yeah, and we'll usually read the sign-off at the end as the name, but also if we can't see a name, we will read off whatever it comes through with. Just first name, of course. We won't do surnames. We're not that bad. But if you do want a pseudonym, either for comical reasons or just to protect your identity, by all means, pop that in there. We're fine with that. Yeah. But that covers off the mailbag quite nicely, which brings us into Erica's favourite segment. Clearly not your common ground. It's the history segment. It's time for the past.
The men of the long-range desert patrols were quite a sight on their return to Cairo from a month's trip to Libya. The contrast between the east and west of the Nile is very marked. In the east, the country... At this point, I gave little thought to my future, but had always been interested in boats in the sea. I am more or less in the position of a captain in command of a ship, which is on the point of sinking because errors are present.
We are absolutely not qualified to share views on history. Where in history are we going today?
Well, last time we got up to 1935.
We did.
With the black shirts heading to Ethiopia.
Yeah, to do, I imagine, horrible things.
Yeah, but we'll get to that. But kicking it off, a word from the Deuce.
From the what?
The Deuce.
The Deuce.
Mussolini.
Oh, no.
Italy, entirely and universally fascist. The Italy of the black shirt fascist revolution, rise to your feet. Let the cry of your determination rise to the skies and reach our soldiers in East Africa. Let it be a comfort to those who are about to fight. Let it be an encouragement to our friends and a warning to our enemies. It is the cry of an Italy which goes beyond the mountains and the seas, out into the great world. It is a cry for justice and victory.
Shut up, Mussolini.
Yeah, justice is an incorrect word here.
Also, I've been to Italy. It's a lovely place. Stop ruining it in the past.
So, yes, the Second Italo-Ethiopian War was a war of aggression waged by Italy. against Ethiopia. Starts in October 1935, but we're going to go back a little bit. We've talked about the black shirts, but we're going to have a look at the geopolitics, shall we?
Oh, let's break it down.
Yes.
Let's get fun with it.
Spoiler alert, Ethiopia is going to get fucked by Europe collectively, not just Italy.
Yeah, Europe, not a great time with most of Africa, Ethiopia particularly.
Yeah. What's going on here? We've mentioned Mussolini wants to rebuild the Roman Empire.
Yeah, moron.
Yeah. Interesting fact, the Romans never conquered the Aksumene Empire, which controlled Ethiopia. Ethiopia was never part of the Roman Empire.
Did not know that.
Nope. So
he's already breaking his own rules here.
he wants to rebuild the Roman Empire, but he also wants to be a European colonial power. He's sort of reaching back to quite a few bits that just aren't going to come to fruition. But Italy's had a interest in the region for about 40 years at this point. In 1880, they tried to expand through the Horn of Africa. So that bit with Ethiopia and Eritrea goes off towards the bit that goes with the Suez Canal.
Yes, yeah.
Their goals in the region were slowed by the next thing that gives the Italians a desire to go to war in Ethiopia, which is the Battle of Adwa in March 1896, which is the greatest loss by a European force ever against an African power.
Oh, wow.
In the colonial age.
Wow.
The worst. They lost 6,000 men here, which ended their expansionist ambitions, as well as just being deeply embarrassing. So for the next few decades, things are relatively stable in the region as Italy is limited to managing Eritrea and Italian Somaliland, which are to the north and south of Ethiopia. Britain's got its grubby little imperial hands in the mix as well, of course.
Well, that's kind of what we did around that time.
Yes. On the 14th of December 1924, Britain and fascist Italy made a secret agreement where Britain recognized Ethiopia as an area of interest for the Italians, as well as agreeing to build a railroad for them. This deal promptly leaked to the chagrin of both the Ethiopian and French governments.
Wow, fuck us.
Yes. So as fascism further escalates throughout Italy, it is also amongst their colonies, with governors starting to encroach on Ethiopia. This all leads up to the Walwal incident.
Oh, I've not heard of this.
Yeah. So the southern border of Ethiopia at the time with Somaliland was meant to run roughly parallel to the south coast, 120 miles in.
Oh, okay.
So the Italians created a fort at the Welwel Oasis, which was past the border by quite a long way, which became a problem on the 22nd of November 1934, when a force of 1,000 Ethiopians in a militia arrive and ask the 60 Somalis who are Italian soldiers there to leave.
Asked.
Yeah. The Somalis say no and alert a nearby Italian force. The next day, a joint British and Ethiopian force arrive who are doing surveying on the land to figure out the exact border. The British officer approaches and he just asks if they can camp nearby.
Okay.
The Italian captain Roberto Simonatru denies the request. He's arrived since the day before, swelling the Italian force to 150. At this point, a British officer named Esmond Clifford decides to withdraw to a nearby town 20 miles away to avoid an international incident. The Ethiopians, however, took no notice of the Italian commander and set up a camp nearby. They spend the next day, 10 days insulting each other, often within arm's reach. As reinforcements arrive for both sides, Italian aircraft are starting to circle above. Another 500 Ethiopians show up, bring their number to 1,500. And also there's now 500 Italians in this fort. This is before the war, by the way. This isn't...
Yeah, this is before... Yeah, there's no war going on at this point.
So tension boils over on the 5th of December as shots are fired. There ends up being 110 Ethiopian casualties and 30 to 50 Italian and Somali casualties. There would have been much more, but the bombs they tried to drop on the Ethiopians missed.
Oh, a bit like mine.
Yeah. This kicks off the Abyssinian crisis as a whole, which, among other things, discredits the League of Nations and is like a very important domino leading up to World War II.
That's interesting.
Yeah, because I'll say this, Ethiopia is part of the League of Nations.
Okay.
They're like a signatory of this thing. At the time, they're ruled by Emperor Haile Selassie, who, and I found this out and thought it was very interesting. His original name, I'm going to get some pronunciations wrong, was Tafar, and the Ethiopian word for king is Ras.
I see.
Yeah.
Rastafari.
Yes, he is a prophet in their religion.
Right.
Didn't know that, but yeah, he is the third prophet in their religious tradition, this guy.
So is that Rastafarian?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's the origin of that.
Yeah.
Or, yeah. Wow, yeah, I had no idea that's the connection
Yeah, I didn't realize that either.
that bridges. Yeah, that's another slice of history I had no idea of.
No. He's an interesting guy, but also a religious figure, so may or may not get a history segment. But so on the 6th of December, Haile Selassie is his imperial name, of Ethiopia, protests the Italians to the League of Nations demanding an apology. The Italians come right back and blame them and say they need compensation. The League of Nations investigates this and exonerates both parties, which is, from what I can tell, there's not a definitive source on who started it, but the Italians are past the border.
Yeah.
So
I'm also not going to give the Italians the benefit of the doubt at this point in history.
no, I think that's a fair.
I think based on the other history segments you've done and the stuff I've picked up, if I just use your history segments as the basis, I don't know that I can believe that they didn't start this.
That's very fair. So everyone's playing a balancing act at this point. Britain and France, who are sort of the leaders of the League of Nations in a lot of ways, are trying to keep Italy on side for a potential conflict with Germany in Europe. Italy's also worried about Germany taking Austria, which is right to the north. Germany wants to weaken everyone involved and is also wanting to see the League of Nations response. This is an interesting part of it as well. At this point, the Germans start sending arms to Ethiopia, not because they want Ethiopia to win, but they want the conflict to go on as long as possible.
To weaken the sides involved, yeah.
Yeah. So weirdly, at one point in time, Nazi Germany was supplying weapons to an African kingdom, which feels...
which is also going to then be counter to Italian interest.
Yes.
And then Italy and Germany ally with each other in the future.
Yes.
This is such a messy period of history.
Oh, it's just a complete... Yeah. So they're also wanting to Britain to end up imposing sanctions on Italy, which will strain them, and also Italy's relationship with them, maybe leading Italy to join with Hitler. So they're doing some like 4D chess on this. So on the 7th of January, they come to an agreement between France and Italy, which gives the Italians free reign in Africa in exchange for help against Nazi Germany. You'll notice there's no African countries involved in this decision.
Yeah, I was going to say, you're naming a lot of countries. They're all in Europe.
Yes. Later in April, Italy, France, and Britain create something called the Stresa Front, which is an alliance intended to keep Germany in check and stop them breaking the conditions of the Treaty of Versailles.
Which is wild, because they've already got the Treaty of Versailles. Now they're introducing another metric to stop this again.
Yes, because they're worried about Germany's remilitarization.
And rightly so.
Yes. So in doing so, as part of them announcing this, the original language in this was meant to be talking about upholding stability globally, but it eventually got whittled down to maintaining stability in Europe, which Mussolini takes as an implicit go-ahead to do what he wants in Africa.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah. So June comes along at this point, and it's another step towards Italian intervention in Ethiopia, because Britain and Germany create a naval agreement, which means that the German Navy has to be 35% of the size of the British one.
Yes.
Including types of ship.
Right, okay.
What this is bad. This is a bad thing to do. It benefits the Brits, but not the French, so it puts strain on that relationship, who are meant to be the two power blocks holding Germany in check.
Yeah, I can see where this is going.
Also, it importantly gives the Germans a legal basis to ignore the naval restrictions in the Treaty of Versailles, because they've come to an agreement with Britain. And really salt in the wounds for the French here. Cherry on the top, as you might say. They signed this on the 120-year anniversary of Waterloo.
Oh, come on.
Where British and Prussian at the time, but Germans beat Napoleon. So it feels like a calculated slight.
Yeah, this feels like Britain, us, being absolute dickheads.
Yeah.
For, by the sounds of it, the sake of it.
In a lot of...
Because we're just spiting an ally here.
Yes.
I don't really see what's to be gained from this logistically. Like, I don't... Maybe there is something.
The naval deal.
Yeah.
Because I think Britain's logic was, if Germany is always 35% of our fleet, and we also dictate the fleet makeup,
yeah,
they will never beat us in a naval war.
Which I get. It's just why spite France during it?
Gonna have to look into them.
That's the part I don't get. Like, I get why you want to try and oppress the German naval forces and keep them shrunk. But I don't understand why we seem to be doing these, like, nudge, nudge, wink, wink insults to the French as part of it.
There's like some sort of weird compulsive deal-making going on or something.
Like in this trifecta of England, France, and Germany, it's like, yeah, we're friends with you, friend. You know, me and you pals. But, you know, we hate you. It's like, why are you doing this? Why are you doing this?
Yeah. This political clusterfuck, while that's going on, Mussolini moves 300,000 troops to Eritrea.
Yeah, no one's looking at Italy at the moment. We're busy doing infighting.
Through the spring and summer. This is like well reported in the press. The like world is sort of speculating. Everyone knows what's going to happen. So in June of that year, another development takes place as the British Foreign Secretary, Aveline, arrives in Rome to make a deal. The British were against the invasion, but were willing to give a corridor of Ethiopia to Italy so they could connect their northern and southern colonies. Again, Ethiopia's not in the room here.
Yeah, but apparently we just don't care. It's weird that the British not caring about the colonized African nations.
Mussolini at this point believes that Britain will never go to war with them for the sake of Ethiopia, and they are just posturing. This correct opinion is bolstered by the fact the Italians broke the British naval codes and knew the British fleet in the Mediterranean was having some issues. Once it became obvious that the invasion was inevitable, Haile Selassie made this declaration: all men and boys able to carry a spear go to Addis Ababa, which is the capital. Every married man will bring his wife to cook and wash for him. Every unmarried man will bring an unmarried woman he can find to cook and wash for him. Women with babies, the blind, and those too aged or infirm to carry a spear are excused. Anyone at home after receiving this order will be hanged.
Bloody hell, that's a fucking steep cost.
Yeah. So at 5 a.m. on the 3rd of October 1935, De Bono, the Italian general to the north, crosses the Mareb River and advances into Ethiopia from Eritrea without a declaration of war. And we'll get into that next time.
What a mess.
Yeah, just as I was researching this, I was like, I do want to highlight what a fucking mess this was. Like,
it just goes to show the state of the world leading up to World War II.
Yeah.
It's just absolute anarchy.
But their weakness, because they're appeasing Italy to get Italy on side, while also appeasing Germany to get Germany to... It's just like they're just very in on appeasement, which is not...
Well, historically...
has never worked, really.
Yeah, historically it doesn't go well.
No.
It's almost as if we shouldn't be appeasing.
Yes. Maybe if you let someone have an inch, they actually will take a mile, or the Rhineland, or Austria.
Yeah, or, well, other places.
Yeah.
It's weird that there's a historical precedent for this.
Yeah. But they're we're going to continue doing a sort of parallel war, diplomatic, political fuck-ups because they're going to run alongside each other for the whole thing. But this will essentially destroy the League of Nations.
I mean, yeah,
and
how could
allow
it not?
World War II in a lot of ways.
Yeah, this is interesting. This is building the sort of the landscape
Yeah.
for World War II to happen in. This is the origin story of World War II.
Yeah, and it's not... No one's coming out smelling of roses here.
No, this really starts to look like a rod that everyone has made for
Yeah.
their own back.
Oh, also, I think I'll double check this for next time, but I'm also pretty certain at this point in time, Ethiopia is the only self-governed African kingdom on the continent.
That seems like
Everywhere else is owned by colonials.
yeah. So it's sort of one last land grab.
Yes.
And it's causing massive issues because it's allowing for nations that play a major role in World War II against these allied nations to posture.
Yeah.
This is such a messy place to be. It boggles the mind because it's sort of, there's objective incorrect moves made by nations that make them the bad people in World War II.
Yeah.
But there's also mistakes made, allowances given that allow them to build to the point they're at.
Yeah. World War One was a weird clusterfuck, but also like the top blowing off like a release valve from what I can see.
Yeah, World War One seems like a sort of Rube Goldberg machine
Yes.
that's been built up through decades, centuries, and then it just kind of happens through the strangest of circumstances.
Yeah.
And World War II is the sort of aftermath of that, and all of these nations that seem to be just making missteps.
Well, I'd be very interested to hear any insight from the fans on this as well, but from what I've been reading, it seems basically once they signed the Treaty of Versailles, World War II was happening.
Well, yeah.
Like, in a lot... Like, obviously the fuck-ups here and the weakness of the League of Nations is a problem, but ultimately it leads back to Versailles.
Well, yeah, you could call World War II as a sequel. Just slap the subtitle of Unfinished Business
Yeah.
on it, and that's the film you've got. That's the next chapter, because it never really wrapped up. Again, we're not people who know everything about history, but if I'm talking about what I've learned from background knowledge already and your history segments, it's just misstep after misstep that allows these things to happen.
Yeah.
At the end of all this, I'm going to be a perfect scholar, and I will have the correct opinion.
Or
It'll be
certainly
great.
strong ones.
I'll probably not have a strong opinion one way or the other. I'll probably stay on the fence just to be safe.
You maybe get off this fence.
Yeah, it's not a fence I want to be on. I know who were bad. I know who were trying to fight the
Less
bad people, and that's kind of all I know. I'm just a little guy, Andy.
Yeah.
We're both just little guys. We're both just people who are trying to play a big board game. We're trying to learn along the way. We're just having fun. And part of that fun is, I'm enjoying my my Christmas present from you, which was a lovely 12-year Scotch. So it's dry January's gone.
It is.
I can enjoy that now. So I feel...
Welcome to a monsoon February. Got a month of drinking to catch up on.
Well, this has hit me a lot more than I anticipated. Yeah. I can feel this. So I think the only way we can really bring each other together now, unlike the Treaty of Versailles or appeasement, is something much more capable of doing so. Something that's tried, tested, and works. And that has to be common ground.
It does.
And now for something nicer. A little oasis in the war. It's time for some common ground. I'm trying the intro for common ground. I'm recording it. Maybe. Yeah. So, common ground is the segment in which you and I find a topic to discuss and use that to unite one another. Something controversial, something exciting, something gentle, something beautiful, something subtle, humble, and brave that we can both agree on and become friends at the end of this era of conflict. And Andy, this week it's your turn.
It is.
What is your topic?
No suits for men for 30 years.
Oh, Okay, no suits for men for 30 years. Now, that's there seems to be some specificity within this.
Okay.
You've picked 30 years,
Yep.
and you've picked just suits for men. What is the rationale?
I feel like suits were invented like, I think they're like early 1800s
Yeah, that sounds about right.
by this guy, Bo something. But
Mr. Bow Tie.
but he like made suits of like the sort of muted colors and cuts we have now as a like reaction to everyone else wearing bright clothing.
Yeah, I see the sort of like flashy imagery in my head of like the quite like decadent, like red and green, blue sort of garments.
But I think it's like locked men's fashion into one place. I think we just that's why 30 years might be too long. I just think let's have no suits for a while and see what we come up with, because we've got locked in on this one thing.
I see. You don't want to necessarily get rid of suits because of how they look. You want the next suit.
The next suit, or let's add some, because everyone at like the range of like men at like a wedding or something is like dark blue, grey, black, basically.
Yeah,
and they're all the same.
You wear like a purple suit if you're the Joker.
Yeah,
Or like a red suit if you're like a wacky guy.
but they're like base suit.
Your average suit. I've worn a black suit, I've worn a grey suit, and I've worn a blue suit. But I've not worn anything beyond that.
Yeah,
So I see what you mean in terms of variety, because I like a suit.
I think that I might be wrong here, because I think the suit for men might be a bit like the bike, where you
Yeah.
can sort of update the materials, but the core thing,
It's kind of already solidified in what it needs to be.
yeah. But I want to give it 20 years to see if we've accidentally stopped at the penny farthing.
Oh, that's a very good way to put this.
Yeah.
Yes, maybe there is something afterwards.
Yeah, maybe we've locked in too early.
But did the penny farthing come because they stopped using penny farthing for 30 years?
No, almost certainly not. It's because it was unwieldy and a bad design. But that would the analogy. Let's not dive too far into it. But yeah,
But I
let's
guess
just free some. People used to wear like the big pantaloons, brightly colored vests and jackets and tunics. It's all just become one.
well, they did, but then they came onto suits. And have you worn brightly coloured tunics?
No.
Have you worn a suit?
Yes.
What would you rather wear if I had both of them right now in front of us?
Well, I think I'd go for the suit, but that's because everyone goes for the suit, which is why I think we need a bit of restriction.
But so no one's going to see. So if I give you the two outfits right now, and
Yeah.
I said, I'm gonna leave the room. You've got an hour. Which one are you gonna put on? Which one would you rather wear? And not because of the novelty of it, because novelty would dictate the pantaloons. Let's face it. But which one would you rather wear and look at yourself in the mirror? Which one would you like to be in most?
Probably the pantaloons and tunic,
Okay,
but
fair
they're
enough.
not socially acceptable. This is adjacent to my poncho thing, and I just think, for some reason, I'm not into fashion at all, but I think men's fashion needs a kick up the arse.
I just wonder, because the suit, because I like a suit, and I'm just trying to envision what other thing could come about where I'd be like, I'm going to wear that to feel like I'm well dressed. And I guess it's sort of like imagining a new color, because I don't have the capability to invent new fashion.
Or like in the 70s, like trying to predict the internet.
Yeah, like I don't
Like-
have the means to think of the next thing, so I can't picture it.
Yeah.
So the concept of it, I don't mind at all.
It's sort of a fashion forest fire.
Yes,
Clear
okay.
out the big ancient suits and let some new stuff grow. And a lot of it's going to die and suck. And maybe the suit comes back hard after 20 years because no one thought of anything better. But people will have interesting wedding photos and baptism photos or whatever the hell. And then also we might find some new stuff.
In essence, I don't mind the idea of trying to find the new thing. I just worry what I'd do.
I think the suit's
At a
too
formal event.
reliable.
Well, that's it. It's safe. It's a safety net.
Yeah.
I know that if I'm going to an event and it's fancy, I know what to wear. I feel like it's much easier for men if you're a guy and you dress in a typical masculine fashion, you'll wear a suit to these kind of, formal events. I feel like, women who are into wearing a dress, anyone who's, into that kind of fashion style, I feel like the technicalities of it become a little bit more involved, because then you've got there's like a lot of styles of dress, and this might be a nuance that I don't really see because I'm not very fashionable. Like, there's different types of suits, but I just kind of look at a suit and go blue suit, grey suit, black suit. And I know you can get like the different buttons, and you can get like double-breasted.
Or like the cuts.
Yeah, and I don't really know what double-breasted means in a suit. I think it's to do with the collar.
They're like bigger, so they go more across.
It's
like when a 4 button.
I think, yeah. So I don't really know even much about that, but I feel like with dresses, it's a bit more involved. Like, there's a lot more style to it. So I don't know if this is something specific to suits or if it's something specific to formal wear.
Maybe
I don't know how broad this goes, because then that also makes me think about jeans. Like, I love jeans.
Yeah.
But are they the safe bet? Are we too comfortable with jeans as well?
Yeah.
Because if I get rid of jeans, then I'm absolutely fucked. I just wear jeans.
But I think there's sort of a difference between casual / workwear, like the jeans fit into, and the like formal.
Yeah.
Because I think people look more diverse not at events, or at least men.
Definitely, yeah. Like, if you go to a wedding, everyone, definitely men. If you see a bunch of guys in suits,
yeah,
then it's kind of 10 a penny. Like, even with dresses, like, that's why I feel like there's more diversity within dresses, because I'll go to a wedding, I'll see a dozen guys in suits, and I'll be like, they're all wearing suits. They all look pretty much the same. You see a dozen women in dresses, and you kind of go, well, these people all look different. It seems
like there's a wider range in dress.
Yeah, it's like the variety is there.
Yeah.
Like, you have some with, like, go over the shoulder, some that are, strapless, some that have, like, the leg slit, some that are, sort of big and
wider,
sort of puffy out. Yeah. Whereas with a suit, it's like, but you've got, like, 3 buttons or 2 buttons.
Yeah. And if you're, like, very adventurous, you might get one that's, like, maroon.
Well, yeah,
but
that's
like,
it. And who's going to go to a wedding and wear the weird suit?
Yeah.
Elderly people can get away with it. You can get like an elderly guy who's wearing like a brown suit.
Yeah, because that's not... Yeah, that's... I don't know what that is, but that is sort of... They look better. I don't know.
Yeah, like I remember my great-granddad, who passed, like he would wear like these like quite baggy, like almost oversized suits. And you would see it and be like, well, yeah, this is his style. He can pull this off.
Yeah.
He's elderly. Like, this is his jam. And you'd look at him and go, this works. If I was to wear that, I would feel, and I think others would feel, that's weird.
I think if you're not old and you've got an oversized suit on, it looks like you're wearing your dad's suit.
Yeah.
Like, up to the age of 40 almost.
Yeah. And I'm like, yeah, so maybe there's like a generational thing as well to it. I feel like there's a lot of moving parts to this.
Yeah.
I'm kind of worried about getting rid of the suit, Andy. I don't know that I can survive getting rid of it.
Moving in to that space,
well,
but I would like...
thing.
That's what I'm interested in.
Do you have a vague idea, just a vague suggestion of what could come next? Is it going to be crazy different, or is it going to be like an evolution of the suit?
I mean, maybe we're bringing some old stuff back.
Okay. Sort of like when like flared jeans came back.
Yeah, maybe we go back, or maybe, yeah, someone comes up with some totally new.
I guess the thing is, if we're getting rid of suits, how far back are we going here? Are we going tunic?
No, I think suit as a shirt, tie, maybe vest. Like what we're thinking of.
Yeah.
Not like a long coat or...
Oh, but I meant, how far back are we going to reinvent something? Like, if something's coming back, is it the tunic that's coming back?
I think there'll be a couple of really interesting years, and then they'll settle and get boring again. And then the suit comes back.
Because the way I see it historically, you've got the suit. Before that, you had the kind of tunic, pantaloons. I think before that, you had like a cloak, which I don't mind a cloak. We've talked about this. Cloaks, ponchos, we like these. But I don't know. I worry that we might have actually just got to the end point.
I say, maybe that's what I don't like.
That it's the end.
Yeah, it's just done.
You don't like an end.
Maybe not.
I don't like an ending.
Yeah.
I don't do well with endings. So maybe the suit has to stay. Because if we end it,
maybe this is a reason it has to go.
But if the suit stays, Andy, what you have to accept then is that there's no end. If we get rid of the suit and it comes back, then we have the definitive answer. We're at the end.
Then we've got an answer and I'm fine.
Right, so you just need an answer.
Maybe we stopped at the right place. I just want to make sure we're not on a penny farthing.
And again, that's an analogy I love. I'm going to use this in more context. This is, you know what? That is great, like business nonsense speak.
Oh, the penny farthing problem. It's like a best-selling business self-help book.
It's like the perfect bullshit statement to say when you're like, you want a better idea. It's like, let's not stop at the penny farthing, guys. What you've done there is you made one of the wankiest phrases
I've unleashed
ever.
something into the world.
Oh, maybe that's what this is. Maybe this is about misunderstanding where we're at. Maybe this is about wanting more when maybe sometimes there isn't.
But that's why maybe 30 years is too long. But I think like, say 10 to 15. Because then you've got like sort of 5 years of people figuring stuff out. Then a bit of like, oh, we've settled on a new thing.
It's just...
Then the suit comes back in and maybe the suit doesn't beat the new thing we've settled on.
But the issue is...
Maybe someone wearing a suit is like a guy in a suit of armor or like...
I'd wear a suit of armor.
Then maybe people will bring back like the stereotypical historic wear.
Functional clothes.
Yeah, maybe it's Scots will have kilts. Brits will have like, I don't know, red coats or like tabards over armor. Like,
I feel like we're in a dangerous point in history to start regressing back to cultural
maybe
wear.
regression's not.
Because a lot of cultures still enjoy wearing them.
Yeah.
And a lot of cultures have moved away from them. Some for good reason. I feel like... Because the thing is with Common Ground, you never want to reinvent something that causes political tension. Because it's no longer common ground at that point. The thing that's meant to bring us together causes widespread tension. And we needn't that.
Yeah, let's not do that.
Also, I'm approaching my 30s now. I don't want to be banished from the suit until I'm mid-40s. I feel like I'm going to lose my best suit years.
Tough.
No, I can't hit 30.
If they're your best suit years, they're your best clothing years.
Yes.
So whatever.
It's the suit. It's the suit. I just don't think anything else is going to do it. But what I am up for, we can keep the suit.
Yeah.
But we normalize experimentation at formal events. And we start small. We start with the different coloured suits. We start with the maroon suit.
So we get rid of black tie.
We get rid of black tie.
Yeah.
We say formal wear.
Yeah.
And then we go fancy wear.
Ooh.
And after that, we just go uncommon wear.
Yeah. What if the Cruyffs?
Are we talking the big collars?
Yeah, the big white.
The one you see Shakespeare with in all of the portraits.
Well, that would be fun if they came back.
That would be interesting.
Yeah.
The wigs. The powdered wigs.
They don't really work with a suit, but they work with robes.
Yeah,
for
they
like
do.
a judge. So maybe we get rid of the suit and then it opens up a whole world of weird hat wear.
You know what? Put it all together. Let's see what mixes and matches. Right, okay, here we go. So for formal events, we say formal wear, but we don't specify the era of time.
That's fun. Because it also, you can have a stab at formal wear from the future.
I like that. Because it's formal wear, and who knows what that might end up as. That's way better. There we go. Formal wear can be from any time.
And we almost, you have a bit of a, he's not had a go there.
Yeah.
Like,
and don't get, you can't get
you don't
silly
need to
with it.
ban it, but yeah, let's encourage other stuff.
And when we say you can like do formal wear from the future, don't get silly and wear like tin foil. It's like, well, that's not the future. Don't just put shiny things on and say it's the future. Make an effort.
Yeah.
Tell us what you think the future formal wear would be. And you know what? That's where we find the fashion.
Because you might end up with a bunch of people with wedding photos where they're in like the sort of piped, like Marvel style bodysuits.
And you know what? Eventually, someone will show up to an event and they will say, this is the formal wear of the future. And you know what, Andy? One day someone will be right.
Yeah, and everyone there will be like, I'm making that. And then 200 years from now, someone will be like, everyone needs to start wearing flannels for formal events.
And they'll look back and they'll go, this was the guy. And you know where he got it from? He got it from listening to a podcast. He listened to War with a Mate. And he listened to the episode from February of 2026. And he thought he'd be subtle, humble, and brave. And that's what he did. And he changed the world. And my message to everyone listening is change the world.
While also staying subtle, humble, and brave.
In the deserts of your minds. And you take this idea and you run with it. And you never stop running. Never give up. Never surrender. Good night.